This is one of my all-time favorites. Let me tell you, teriyaki beef short ribs. Now, most people don't know, when you say short ribs, they think of the whole rib, but I'm talking flanking. I'm talking really thin like they do in Korea, but we're gonna change the whole flavor and taste up and not only turn this into a delicious meal, but it is beautiful to look at. And if you eat with your eyes like I do, this is the meal that you want on your top 5 of all time. Let's get it. If you're gonna go to war, you gotta go to war with armor. And the sweet ginger teriyaki marinade and glazed by House of Flavor makes this all come together and save me a ton of time and money at the store from trying to get all the ingredients together. So literally, this is all you're gonna need, in addition to some black pepper, some kosher salt. You need a little bit of green onion for the garnish. And of course, I like to spice things up and make it hot, nice and hot. And I'm gonna use some Thai chili peppers, but you can use that as an option or not. It doesn't make it super hot, but it adds a nice back heat to it that's just really delicious. And for the cold season, it warms the soul. So let's get right into it. What I'm gonna do is just take a little bit of olive oil, put it over my beef short ribs, and as simple as this, salt and pepper. We don't need a whole lot going on here because this beautiful glaze and marinade is gonna do the magic. That's all you need. And you flip this over and do the same exact thing. Now what I like to do is let this sit here for a couple minutes just to let that all marinate and get in there. And while it's doing that, I'm gonna fire up my skillet. And I'm gonna make these in batches. Obviously, I'm not gonna crowd all of these inside here, the pan, but I'm gonna do maybe 3 or 4, depending how big a skillet is, and then switch them out. Literally, you're talking a minute and a half on each side. Make sure you get the pan hot. You just wanna get a nice little brown. Pull it out. Once everything is out, we're gonna cut this up and we're gonna move to the next step, and that's gonna be to bring this all together with the glaze. All right, now that we let the meat sit a little bit, it's time to get the sizzle on. We're gonna take these ribs. That's the sound that we wanna hear. And like I said, you don't wanna overcrowd your pan. These are nice and juicy, so I'm only gonna do batches of 3 at a time. And like I said, you literally only need about a minute and a half, depending on how hot your pan is, to get a nice brown color. Flip them over, do the same thing, and then we're gonna take them out and cut them up, and then we're gonna prepare our vegetables and stuff, and I'm gonna show you how that rolls into it. Now we got the last batch done. You wanna take these out and set these to the side right here. They look good. Let's set those to the side. And now in the same exact pan, what we wanna do is I've taken 1 onion, 1 red bell pepper, 1 green bell pepper, and we just gonna slide this right in here. This is where this dish is gonna come to life. And we're gonna mix that beef once we cut it up with these bell peppers. You wanna let that sit in there, season with a little salt and pepper, and just let that sit in there. And you wanna let it brown a little bit. You don't wanna roast it or overcook it, you just wanna let it brown a little bit. And while that's doing that, what we're gonna do is we're gonna cut up these flanking ribs. They have this little knuckle on them. And I'll show you here. Right where there's a knuckle, all you wanna do is slice this right there, see? You wanna slice that right at that knuckle. You wanna do these to every single piece, like this, and we'll get this whole thing done. Now you might need a little extra olive oil inside your pan. If so, you put that in there. Now, depending on where you stay, you can find these at your local grocery store. And a lot of times they may have the real thick ribs in there, but all you gotta do is just ask your butcher, can I have flanking beef short ribs? And they'll get it right done for you. Maybe a couple of pounds. In today's market is maybe like $20, $25, depending on how much you got. All this here was $30 at my local market, but let me tell you, it beats going to your local restaurant and being charged triple that price for them. Now, if you look at these vegetables here, look at that right there. That's the color that we want. And what we're going to do is we're going to take these ribs and we're going to put them right in the pan, just like that. We want all of this come together. And then the magic in this here is the actual sauce. And that's what I told you earlier. We're gonna take this bottle here of the House of Flavor Sweet Ginger Teriyaki. Now you may like to make your own at home. For me, nothing's beating this here, but you just move this in here like this. It has all the garlic and flavors that you're gonna need right inside there. Look at that. This is an incredible meal. You can throw this over some rice. You can eat it as is. You can put it with mashed potatoes. You can smell the fresh ginger inside, the sweetness of the juice. And all you want to do is just let this sit here for a little bit. Now me, because of course, I like a little heat. Remember earlier when I talked about those Thai chilies? I cut a little bit up, and what I'll do is I'll just drop a couple, just like this, right across the top. Look at that. And of course, a little green onion. Look how beautiful that meal is right there, already. And like I said earlier, you can always just love yourself. But food is meant to be shared, so you know it's good to share it with somebody. Knock on the neighbor's door and say, look what I got. I paired mine with a nice plate of jasmine rice, as you see here. Now I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna take those Thai chili peppers because I like it. Put it on mine. I'm gonna take a little bit of green onion, garnish it over top. And let me tell you, if you look at this meal, this is a beautiful meal right here. Suitable for a king and a queen. And of course, you can't forget that sauce. I got a little bit of that sauce. And I'm gonna drip that sauce right over top. Look at that. That's the way you want that. And I'm telling you, this meal can be made, rice aside, 15 minutes. 15 minutes, completely done. And it is absolutely beautiful and delicious. Oh, before I dig into this, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Leave me a comment. Let me know how you like this. Let me know if I haven't posted something yet, what you would like to see. And if you want to know the magic in the bottle, don't forget again, that's the House of Flavor Sweet Ginger Teriyaki. I'll put the link below in the comment section. And until then,